Class, settle down. Today you will be taking your map test. I told you 2 weeks ago. I don't want to hear any whining now. Here are your tests. Please don't start. You will have 30 minutes to complete both tests. We need to know if you can read maps. First, you must demonstrate that you know where the 50 states are. Once you finish that test, you must demonstrate your understanding of the countries in the Americas. Good luck. Remember those times? Ever felt like deserting your classroom? Ever see students bored with no end in sight? We've all been there. From our first encounters with teachers, we have been conditioned to learn for the test. Even before we become professionals, whether lawyers or teachers, we must pass tests to demonstrate our understanding, our expertise. But how effective are these paper and pencil assessments? When a student scores well, usually out of 100 points, we tell him, "Fine job, Johnny," and we label him as being smart. He then proceeds to memorizing because that's what many tests measure. A student's ability to adhere to his society's wishes demonstrates his understanding of being able to fit in, not necessarily his competence or mastery. For example, on a test that would measure a student's understanding of World War II, he would receive a top grade if he knew the facts, figures, and personalities. What if the stakes were higher? What if a student had to demonstrate an understanding of the process involved that started World War II? What if the student had to actually make the decisions that would cost people their lives? Isn't that a better measurement of a student's knowledge? Of course, but how would an educator go about it? I know. What if a teacher provided a platform such as a video game? To demonstrate, take the simulation RuneScape as an example of how a teacher could not only motivate but engage students. The trouble with games in the classroom, however, is demonstrating how to use them as educational tools rather than entertainment ones. According to James Paul Gee in his book What Video Games Have to Teach Us About Learning and Literacy, games can enhance collaborative and strategic thinking skills far better than regular tests. In this age of standardized testing, his point is well taken. When assigning a game such as RuneScape, there are several items that a teacher can look at to measure students' progress. First, most games now have tutorials. Call these tutorials the lecture phase. This is the stage at the beginning of the game where a student must choose an identity, follow instructions, and receive all the necessary preliminary information in order to pass the test. To be successful, students must complete the tutorial before they're even allowed to take the test. The test, of course, will be the student's ability to achieve higher levels within the game by successfully completing quests. In this particular example, the avatar must help the baker by finding the ingredients he needs to bake a cake. Before beginning, however, the student must be able to navigate through this simulated environment. This would be a second tool for assessment. He navigates in RuneScape by looking at the map and following it until he gets to where he wants to go. This requires map reading skills, of course. If the student cannot properly get to his intended destination, he will become frustrated. Rather than giving up, he will continue on his quest until he finds the destination. This is similar to the reteaching method used in a traditional classroom, but set to meet individual goals. Once he gets there, he must then follow the instructions in order to proceed to the next level. Once the student gets to the next level, he moves on to the next, and so on and so forth. In addition to completing the tutorial, navigating, and beginning quests, the instructor can look for items such as student decisions and outcomes, communication and collaborative skills, and completion of certain levels. Although it is difficult to translate the completion of a video game into the standard A through F format, the student nevertheless has demonstrated far more competence in simulation than on any paper and pencil test. However, if he doesn't follow the instructions, or is attacked and killed, then perhaps he has not passed the test. Regardless, in playing RuneScape, the student has still experienced the highs and lows of authentic assessment, and increased his motivation for learning.